And so for those, that are in the church, what do you find are some of just the aches, the pains of the people in this area when it comes to just sexuality and gender? Like, where's the aches in their life right now that I think, and then we'll get into like what the church can do to help them in those aches. But what would you say are some of the things they're aching for right now?
I mean, I think one of the key aches maybe sounds obvious once you say it, but I think one of the big things is relationship, right?
Yeah.
This ache for intimacy, an ache to be known, to be loved, to be received, and to know that people aren't going anywhere. I think especially for young adults or for teens, um, all of your friends are like our whole lives are before us and we're figuring everything out, you know and then you're kind of faced with what can seem like a heavy yoke of obedience, right? I mean, yes, there's like such beauty and goodness in a life of chastity, but there are particularities if this is your experience and you're like exclusively real, like deep-seatedly like attracted to the same sex. Like there's a heavy yoke of obedience, right? And so to be able to like find your Simons, and to be able to know like who is it that is walking with me like regularly and accompanying me in this space, who's for me, right? And like where are we going? Like where am I going? I think the need too for like joyful hope, like about your future, that like God loves you, that God has a plan for you, and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made with gifts and with charisms and ways that you can offer like your love and your goodness to the church and the world, that you can give in like spiritual maternity and spiritual maternity and spiritual paternity that the world needs. Like, and in fact, like maybe your current situation, like God's allowed that for you, and there's going to be a way that he's calling you to be a saint,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
is in the midst of it.
Yeah, and sometimes the place you least think that he is, the place that you're losing him, this is where my relationship with God is going to rupture, that could actually be the place where he's calling you to the deepest sanctity. I want to put a shout out to the guys who are listening, who are young, maybe high school, college, whatever, to not withhold your friendship from other guys who experience same-sex attractions because you are too afraid and protective of your own social status that you withhold masculine friendship from these guys. You do them grave injustice by doing this because you're like, well, hey, if I associate with that guy, then everybody gets going to think I'm gay too, and so I'm not even going to talk to that guy. Grow up and get over it and go be friends with this guy, because not only does he deserve your friendship, you deserve his as well. And so individuals who experience same-sex attractions, I encourage them, like, please do not deprive the church of the gifts that God has given to you that you're going to offer this church. One day we're going to have canonized saints who experience same-sex attractions. I'll bet you we already do have canonized saints that had experienced same-sex attractions, but maybe it just wasn't culturally something that could be brought up, but it was something that they experienced at some point in their life. Like, we don't know. God knows. But there's no way that he's going to like bar them from the kingdom of heaven. Well, you felt that feeling, you're out of here. No, but there's going to come a day where they're going to be raised to the altars of people who truly glorified God in their bodies and pursued chastity. But in the meantime, those saints need to be made, and they need to be made in the here and now. And it's going to be a lot harder for them to understand God's love for them if you guys out there are distancing yourself from them as if they're second-class citizens in the church. And so don't do this. Don't do it at school. Don't do it on social media. Make friends with these. And you're not compromising your Catholic faith by being friends with them. You are compromising your Catholic faith by refusing friendship with them. And so I just had to get that off my chest because I knew growing up, I was that guy, right? I went to an all boys high school. It was like, you're gay. I'm not gay. You're gay. You're gay. A bunch of idiots, And so I just think it's so important that guys hear that